Welcome to a review of the Medtainer. I'm the Sultan of Silver, and many of you have seen this, especially if you are into the green leaf. I am into the dark leaf, but this is quite interesting. It's a grinder. Many of you know the small little cylindrical grinders that grind up your herb, and you get the ground herb underneath and then the keef underneath that through the stream. This is a product that looks like a medicine container. Top comes off, this comes off, but inside, look at that right there, is little grinder knobs, points, and at the bottom too. So whatever you put in there is going to get ground. Let's take a look at tobacco, and can it grind pipe tobacco and rub it out the way that I like to smoke it and the way that many pipe smokers like to smoke it. Let's check that out. Here is tobacco in the way that it comes, and it was put in this form literally a couple hundred years ago as it came from Europe for transportation and preservation purposes. It was pressed, and that way it would last longer. This is flake tobacco. It's about the size of a stick of gum. It's put into large, giant blocks and then sliced very thin. And then what you're supposed to do is rub it out. They call it rubbing it out, and you end up getting a little pile of loose tobacco. Other pipe tobaccos come like coins. They roll like a giant cigar. Let's say it's a 6-foot long kind of cigar with various layers of different types of tobaccos. Then they slice it very thin into little coins. You can see that. It's very pretty. It's thin as the flakes, but this is how it comes in the cans, the tins. And then there's plug tobacco. Plug tobacco looks like a brownie. It was basically just a giant block, tobacco pressed into a block and then cut into little squares. And what you do is you cut off a bit of this, you rub it out in your hands, and then you get a little pile of loose tobacco. You dry it out for a few minutes, just let some of the natural moisture kind of evaporate from it, and then you put it in your pipe and you enjoy it. But let's use the Medtainer to see if it can grind up this tobacco easily, and is the Medtainer of use for the pipe smoker. Let's check it out. Okay, we're back now. I'm going to start grinding up some pipe tobacco. You're going to see some familiar items here. The oil lamp from the Van Gogh room, the jack, and of course the square shot glass, which will be enjoyed in a little while. The homemade stubby poker that I make and love, and is truly one of my favorite pipes. It's lightweight, just far enough from the face to keep me from bursting into flames. And then of course the Cadillac cutting board. People say, why do you call it the Cadillac cutting board? Because I like Cadillacs, and I went to test drive a Cadillac, and when I test drove the Cadillac, they gave me a Cadillac cutting board. So that's why it's called the Cadillac cutting board. And of course a little straight razor with a spine on it, and I use that to cut up my tobacco as well. And then of course we have the assisted opening knife. This is a buck skeletonized knife that I really love. The motor scooter Vespa lighter, and the 60 or 70-year-old tamper pipe tool. So I'm going to take the Medtainer, which is 3 pieces, the top, the storage area, and this is made for herb, and then the grinder bottom and the grinder top. Can you see that? Okay, it's like, let me put that. Okay, good. Now, and I grind everything from even household herbs, like kitchen herbs. I'm in my kitchen right now. So let's take flake tobacco and put that in there. I'll break it in half. It's soft, like a stick of gum. Now let's grind this dog up. Oh man, woo! This is really nice. I'm going to put all these out. Boy, did that do a wonderful job. I know people that swear by it when it comes to grinding up the herb, but I grind up pipe tobacco. I'm a dark leaf fan. Wow. Okay. Emptied out. Now let's take the coin and see what that does. Just fold that in half, pop that in there, take the Medtainer and turn it. You can just go around in circles or just go back and forth like a pepper mill kind of thing. Shake it off. I'm discovering just kind of shake off the little spines. Oh wow, nice. Holy cow. I'm going to do a close-up on these things when I'm done, so you're going to see what it did. I think we found a new use for the Medtainer, other than I've seen people actually grind up coffee beans in it for like a small Melita pour through kind of thing. Now let's take the plug tobacco, which, I mean, this is hard as a rock. And you gotta cut it, that's why we got the cutting board. Let's take a look. Let's just cut a flake. This is a few years old, so this is really compressed. So basically I'm cutting a flake. It's much harder than the flake tobacco. Pop that in the Medtainer. Take the grinder part. Now this is all plastic, injection molded plastic. Let's see. Tap it out. You gotta tap it out like this. You can see what's in it there. Let's see what's in it. Now this just goes in there like that. You can store the tobacco or the herb in here and then put this top back on. It looks like a pill bottle. It's discreet and odor-proof and waterproof, so to speak. So I'm going to show you all three of what the Medtainer did to my pipe tobacco. Hold on a second. Okay, let's take a look at the ground up, or in the pipe vernacular, they call it rubbed out tobacco. Let's take a look at the flake. I will zoom in here. This is the flake, okay, like a piece of gum. In the Medtainer, nice. I probably ground this one up a little bit too much. I made too many rotations in it, but you know what? Very smokable, beautiful. The coin. Now this flake is Hearth and Home, I believe, the old dark fired. This one here is, I believe, Escudo. So there is the coin, and then check this out right here. Beautiful. Will go into a pipe nicely. Now the plug. Like I said, this is hard. Like a brownie. You cut a piece off and it's very concentrated. You saw it was only cut like maybe not even half of a stick of gum, and it created this much right here. Look at that. That's enough to fill up a pipe. How cool is that? I like it a lot. So what is the verdict on the Medtainer? The 3-piece, it's injection molded, 3 pieces, a top, a storage area, airtight, waterproof, and then the built-in grinder, which is just, you can see that? Yeah, there you go. What is the verdict when it comes to grinding pipe tobacco? I will tell you, I give this a 2 thumbs up and a 10 out of 10. The key would be to only grind up or put in here what you're going to use, what would fill up 1 bowl. So I would try it. It's called the Medtainer, and you might like it. You can order it on the web. I'll provide a link, and I really think you're going to like it. So next thing is I'm just going to fire it up and see how the ground tobacco actually tastes, the actual the cut itself. Did it create a cut that is pipe friendly? Let's see it. All right, let's fire up the tobacco that was ground up, rubbed out by the Medtainer. Wow. Ground up so it lights easily, but not ground fine, not coffee grounds fine. Definitely good. Can I recommend it? Yes. Easily lights. That's going to stay lit until the end. The Medtainer. You're going to love it. Give it a shot. I suspected that it was going to be a good item, and many times when you look in the green leaf or cannabis market, there are certain tools and gadgets and things that can kind of carry over into the pipe tobacco world. This is definitely one of them. This could carry, you know, a day's worth of tobacco in here, or a flake, or coins, and until you want to grind it up, you can keep them fresh. And in here, it's odor-proof and waterproof as well. And keep that in a little bag or your little pipe pouch or your pocket or whatever. I think it's a great little invention. 2 thumbs up. You should get one. The Medtainer. Thanks.